crazy. What's up
Welcome,
there, boys and
YouTube
girls?
and Twitchers.
Yeah, and welcome MonkeyHouse Guitars.
Rock and roll. In house.
Yeah. That's Mike playing, Mike.
Nice.
It's Mike squared. Yeah. That was that thing we talked about last episode, or with Joe, just Joe from Syracuse, the space in a song. And how cool it is for a crowd when you're jamming out and all of a sudden everything just stops.
And you start
And then,
right on time
and it picks
again.
right back up.
Right.
What those people don't realize is it's that fascinating for the three of us as musicians too. Every time.
because then you hit it. You're like, fuck yeah.
Oh,
Yeah,
it's magic.
nailed it.
Magic every time.
Him and I just said it at the same time. That's the magic.
Nailed it. So if you're just joining us, we are live on Twitch and YouTube with Mike from MonkeyHouse Guitars. And of course, I'm Chris. He's Mike. This is the Chris and Mike Show. Coming to you live for what, 24 countries now?
24 countries. We
Wow.
just
24
picked up
countries.
Brazil.
Just picked up Brazil. Not the wax, the country. So I'm gonna sit back and let you guys geek out on the building of guitar stuff, because a lot of the stuff that I try to book for the show is stuff that helps kind of feed into Mike's desires and love and passion for the guitar and talking music and the scales and, like, you know,
My healthy addictions.
Right.
the theory of music and all that kind of stuff. I just like having conversations and learning stuff. And so, you know, you guys just kind of do your thing and I'll interject and I'll learn and we'll share and we'll go from there. And I'm going to share your screen too at some point in time. So just take it away there, Mike and Mike.
All right.
Yeah, I've been like a little kid at Christmas, so if I get tongue-tied, I know you might find this hard to believe as a guitar builder, but just the people that you've built guitars for and the level, and we'll talk about this, but the level you've achieved is the same level of success we felt when Metal Blade came to us and when Universal came to Chris. And, you know, when labels start noticing that something that you planted the seed for and hope that people understood what you were trying to get across, when that happens, man, explain what that feeling's like.
Honestly,
it's hard to put the words, right? Because it's like, wait, what?
Yeah.
Who wants me to build a guitar?
It absolutely is. And honestly, so I started talking to Peter in, I think it was, I want to say like late April, early May when I talked to him.
Okay, so back it up a little bit. Tell people who Peter is, and then I want to know how you actually came to have a conversation with Peter.
Okay, yeah. And that's actually a really good story, how that happened.
Yes.
You know? So
that's why we're here.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
So flashback to 1994 when Candlebox's
Chris
first
and I
album
met.
came out. Yeah,
That's when Mike and I met, man.
At the show.
right.
Yeah.
Literally.
That album came out, and it changed my life.
Me too, brother.
I had been,
Yep,
I'd been
yep.
at that point. I started playing guitar like my freshman year in high school, and I suck.
Okay.
I still suck to this day. I'm horrible at it. But
I always say the same thing.
yeah, but I've always had a love, just a passion for guitars.
Yes.
That album came out, and I would literally sit there, push play, and just try as best I could play that whole album all the way through, start to finish. You know, just fumbling my way through the fucking songs. I'm sure anybody listening, it probably sounded like shit, but that album touched me, and it you know, it like
Me
in
too.
a deep way. You know, just it was so profound. So the story with how Peter Klett and I even got in contact with each other. So we had the family over here at my house. We're all sitting out, hanging out outside. The kids are playing in the pool and shit. And my wife and I had decided that day, I don't drink very often at all, but we decided that day, fucking Bloody Mary sounds so good, you know?
Oh, yeah.
So
Damn right.
had one, that led to another, you know? And we're sitting on the back porch, enjoying the sun, enjoying the weather. we had music playing. It was a great day. It was just perfect day. And
Yeah.
I'm probably 5 or 6 Bloody Marys deep at this point, feeling no pain, and
Yeah.
Candlebox song comes on, right? And like, oh, I fucking love this band. I haven't listened to them in so long, but I was just like,
Yeah.
oh, and just sat
Takes you
there.
right back.
Yeah, exactly. Just basking in it and sitting there next to my wife, just listening to the song. And I was like, what would be awesome? What would just literally be like bucket list is to build a
Yeah.
guitar for Peter Klett. That would be fucking amazing. I could die at that point, And so a couple more drinks, a little more liquid courage, and I'm like, I wonder if he's on Facebook. I'm gonna look him up.
No shit.
So I look him up and there's his personal Facebook page.
The same way Chris found you.
Yeah. So I just send him a friend request and send him a message, explaining who I am, what I do, and I was like, your music is literally part of my DNA. It's in my blood,
Agreed.
But I was like, if you would allow me to, I would love to build you a guitar. I was like, I don't want any money from you. It's not a scam. I don't want anything from you.
Right.
I just want to build you a guitar,
That's so cool, man.
Send. I was like, I'm going to shoot my shot.
Yeah.
He's probably going to deny the friend request and not even read the message, but I tried,
Yeah.
And this was a Sunday evening, and I get up Monday morning, get to work, check my phone, and I've got a message from Peter Klett.
No shit, man.
And I was like, holy shit, And he's like, hey, thanks for the kind words, blah, blah, blah. This guitar thing really sounds interesting. I'd like to talk to you more about it. And
Cool.
I'm like crawling out of my skin, I'm like, oh my God, fucking Peter Klett just sent me a text, like, holy shit. Going crazy. I was just...
Now, let me ask you one question at this point.
Yeah.
How much of a social media presence did you have at the time for him to do any kind of research on you?
Honestly, I don't know that he did any research on me. I'm sure he probably did some, but not a lot. Because he didn't even start following my page until after he had the first guitar.
That's crazy.
Yeah. So it wasn't like I don't know. Honestly, that'd be a good question for him because y'all are gonna get him on your show.
You're gonna help us do that, right?
Absolutely. Absolutely. I'll talk to him and be like, hey,
he's one of my
right
heroes, dude.
Yeah, that would be fantastic.
Yeah.
That would be our moment of like, holy shit, because really Mike and I's entire the reason Mike and I know each other is because the Candlebox show. I mean, we're at a venue with 2,500 people, and I just happen to be standing.
And he'll remember this show because the power went out. For about 15 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
Now, where was that at? Where was that show at?
The Electric Ballroom in Tempe, Arizona, right down the road from ASU.
No shit.
Yeah, Chris and I ended up opening up for the Marshall Tucker band there maybe, I don't know, like 6 months later after that show.
Wow.
Yeah, but imagine how the world works. If I didn't go to that show, if Mike didn't go to that show by himself, mind you, and I'm not standing behind him singing along with Kevin Martin the entire time. We told the story before. So the short version, Mike kept looking back at me, and I'm like, who's this motherfucker staring me down? Because I'm just rocking out. And then the power goes out. He busts out this business. Right. But he busts out this business card. He's like, I'm in a band. I'm looking for a singer. And I was like,
shit.
All right. And here we are,
and 30 some odd years later.
Yeah.
Right.
Talking to you about guitars.
How crazy.
Yeah, exactly.
So Peter touched all of our lives.
And
it's crazy. So like when he thinks about I'm sure he doesn't. Everybody has this moment. What have I done with my life? Right.
Right.
When you hear from somebody so far removed as the three of us, think about how many other people are in that boat where those first few albums from Candlebox really did change a lot of lives.
Oh,
that second album was a burner, man. Lucy.
Absolutely. And Lucy.
Dude.
And so that's something funny because Kevin Martin said something to the effect of that he hates that album, that he didn't like it. And to me, I'm like, dude, that album, it was an amazing album, but it was like, it was a vibe. It was that album to me is like a moment in time.
That's it. It was a vibe.
Yeah.
Oh, it was so ahead of its time. And so it was fucking amazing. And I'm like, I wish you could listen to that album that you hate through somebody else's ears, you know,
Absolutely.
and just appreciate it the way somebody else does.
Because to me, and I think all three of us at that time had the same thought, what are they going to follow? Their debut album is one of the greatest debut albums of all time, in my opinion.
Ever.
And I was like, how do you follow that up?
Right.
And then as a guitar player, Peter took it to the next level on that album. He was like, here's what I'm going to do.
Right.
You know?
Right.
Because to me, it was that sophomore, you know, you think about that sophomore slump. Theirs actually was a graduated level.
Absolutely.
Here's what we're capable of.
If you can fathom stepping it up a notch from that first album, you know, which is just that had to have been such a monumental feat to be like, okay, we've got to top that somehow. You know?
Yeah, right.
But so how you were saying, it's funny how things circle around and come around. So it was, I want to say it was like 24 hours before, like the day before, I had texted Peter. So it would have been that Friday or Saturday of that weekend. A guy that Pete lives in Florida, a guy that he's friends with had talked to Peter, and he's like, hey, this buddy of mine owns this company and they make guitar pickups. I want to introduce you. So Peter and this guy, Jeff Richards, meet each other. Jeff runs Carondelet Pickups. And
I just started following them too after I saw your,
Yeah, and Jeff, same way, huge fan of Candlebox. And he's talking with Pete and like, man, I want to give you a set of my pickups so you can try them out and play them. And Peter's like, dude, I would love to take a set of your pickups, but I don't have a guitar to put them in. You know, I'm not touching any of my vintage shit. I'm not putting those in any of my existing guitars. I don't have one to put them in. If something comes along to where I've got a guitar to put them in, then, you know, I would love to try them out for you. And so when I was having a conversation with Jeff, and he walks away from that kind of just, you know, deflated. Like, oh, man, I just met this guy, and I wanted him to have a set of my pickups so bad. And then 24 hours later, Pete's getting a hold of him again, like, hey, some dude in Kansas is building me a guitar. Do you want to put your pickups in it? You know? And so Jeff was like, it was like the skies just opened up and the stars aligned just right. And the timing just couldn't have been more perfect on any of it, you know?
Especially for, I would imagine, you know, when he's sitting here, he'll say the same thing in reverse, that as much as he fell in love with that guitar, the timing was right for him too, right? He got an instrument.
Right.
I have one behind me that I tell Chris all the time. It's a Charvel STX Custom.
Right.
It's probably like an 89 or 90, if I had to guess. That thing can do things that any other guitar I've ever picked up just can't. It's a special piece of wood connected to a special neck.
Right.
Right. There's just something special about it. It's got that quality.
Right.
I think that's what that guitar that you built for him for surely turned into for Peter, because every photo I see with him lately, he's playing your guitar. So
yeah, and
that's why I was so excited to talk to you, for sure.
And that was honestly, that was the part that blew me away more than him getting a hold of me or answering, you know, responding to me and saying, yeah, build me one, and building it and meeting him and giving it to him. That part was cool, but so I gave that to him. We drove down to Oklahoma, delivered it to him, got to hang out with them, see the show. And then 2 days later, he met up with Jeff from Carondelet and got the pickups swapped out. And it was so funny. So
what did you have in there?
It had a set of Guitar Mary pickups in it that they were supposed to be wound to vintage Tim Shaw specs. And as soon as Peter plugged it in, started playing it, he's like, oh man, these pickups are too bright. You know, I need them to be darker. So then I was kind of, you know, and so 2 days later, they're in Louisiana, and he messages me that morning, and He's like, hey, I wanted to talk with you about this. I don't want to step on your toes or anything, but I've got this guy here that wants to put a different set of pickups into this guitar. Is it cool with you if I have him swap the pickups out? You know, like, I don't want to hurt your feelings, but I want to play this thing every night. And I was like, holy shit. Yeah, do whatever you want to do. You know, if you want to play it every night, I don't give a shit what you do to it. So
Now, let me ask you this real quick.
Yeah.
As a luthier, which is what a guitar builder is called, right? So now we're flipping over into your workshop, all right? Are luthiers that concerned about the pickups? Is that as important as the shape, the build, the piece of wood? In your experience, I know with this situation, you know, he's such a great guitar player and has spoke to us all. It's like, whatever you need to do to be you, that's what we want, right?
Right.
But on the average, are the pickups that important to the builder?
To me, no.
And that's what I picked up on. So I want to know, like, your peers, your colleagues. You know, I don't know a lot of people who build guitars. Actually, you're the only person I know that builds guitars. Let's be honest.
Right. And I hate using the term luthier or like being described as a luthier, because I feel like a luthier is someone who's gone to school and studied under someone and learned the craft over years, you know, and really put a lot of schooling and work into it. I started doing this shit as a challenge to myself just to see if I could do it, you know? And
okay, here's what I'm going to say about that. I know what you're saying, and I would feel the same way, because Chris has complimented me the whole time we've been together for being a humble musician, right? And I try and be that way for sure. But the master, Eddie Van Halen himself, who was also a guitar builder and a player, right? Said it doesn't matter how you get there. You got there, right? Somebody who everybody in the rock world knows who Peter Klett is of Candlebox, right? So you built a guitar that spoke to him so much that he wants to play it every night. I would say it doesn't matter how you got there, you got there.
Right.
I told you online, and I'm telling you now to the world, kudos, man. That's
Thank you.
So cool.
Absolutely. Thank you. And that's been like the biggest compliment towards my work that I ever could have received was the fact that, like you said, every single show since he got that guitar, he's played it.
And this is the guitar I'm sharing, correct?
It's so cool. That's the right one right there. Okay. That was right after we got there. That was them doing sound check right after I delivered it. My wife hates that picture. She's all blurry in it.
Dude, it's rock and roll, man.
And I was at that concert in Arizona when they played in Arizona before, with Three Doors Down opening up. That was a phenomenal show, dude.
Yeah.
Dude, they still sound great.
Oh, you watch them now playing their shows on this reunion tour, and those guys have not missed a beat in 30 years.
No.
You know,
and from a singer standpoint, because as a singer, I look at the singers. He was lights out, man. He hit the shit that I was like, I was sitting in there like, come on. I was just waiting for the hit, waiting for the note, and I'm like, looked at my, damn, he hit the note.
Yeah,
that's awesome.
They're fucking amazing. Yeah. Still,
they are absolutely.
Yep, incredible.
Agreed. It's almost better because it's more relaxed, right?
Yes,
right.
You know, they know where the groove is now.
That's me being nervous as hell.
That's a great picture, man.
It is. I love it.
My wife loved when we went on that trip and went to deliver that guitar. That whole day leading up to that, she's like, "I love this because you're nervous like a school kid right now. You know, like you're."
That's how I felt talking to you today, dude.
Do what?
He did. Mike was all excited about you coming. When I told Mike I got you on the show, dude, I mean, and not a bad thing, but he couldn't shut up about it. Like we would talk, you know, and then we were like, oh, the next show's coming up, and then we had somebody that was supposed to come on, they couldn't come on, and then we ended up doing we were late. Just Joe was late, so then I was going down the list of who was coming on. He's like, "Oh yeah, MonkeyHouse guitars." So it's cool though, dude, because that's the thing. That's
the thing I love most in the world. Just like you know, we're going to be kindred spirits there, right? We've both been playing guitar since we were young kids. So
absolutely,
yep. And that's the whole point of this, man. Is connecting and learning, and so keep talking. I'm enjoying the conversation.
No, man, talk to us about going. I didn't know you got to go deliver the guitar to him and have that experience.
That's cool.
Yeah,
go through that, and then what happened from there.
So that was getting there. We drove down there, got checked into our hotel room. Pete had texted and was like, "Hey, sound check's starting here, like in 20 minutes or something. Go ahead and come to the venue. Da da da. One of our security guys will show you, man, all the this shit." And so we walking through this hotel and casino carrying a guitar in a case, And by that point, there's people lining up at the box office to buy tickets, and the dude sees us, "Hey, come on through," and waves us past there. We walk right past him, and he walks us in, and, "Well, come this way. I'll take you down there," and opens the door, and you're looking down into the venue, and they're all on stage right now doing sound check, and I was just like, "Oh my God, this really happening. Holy shit." And we're walking down the aisle to go towards the stage, and one of the guys on the stage into a microphone goes, "Hey, Pete, your guitar's here." And I was just like, "Oh shit," and
just got real.
Yeah, and walk up on stage, meet him, shake his hand, get to meet everybody, and he's like, like Christmas, I can't wait to see this, takes it out and just like, "Oh my God," checking it out, hands it off to his tech. He's like, "Take the wireless and the other shit off my Les Paul and put it on there. I want to play it," and I'm just I'm geeking out so hard.
What was it like when you heard it played through a real rig for the first time like that?
Fucking amazing.
I can't even imagine, dude.
I think I posted a video of them doing one song with that guitar during sound check. But hearing it played through that rig in his hands was a fucking religious experience.
Oh, I bet, dude. I bet, because that's your baby, man.
Oh my God.
Right.
I literally, I stood there recording him playing while they're playing it, and almost had tears in my eyes, just like, I cannot believe this is fucking happening. It was unreal.
When I told you kudos, man, I meant it on that level, because Chris and I have played at that level, right? When those people are there and they're there to see your creation, or in your case, to use your creation to see theirs to fruition, that's a whole nother level.
Absolutely.
It just is.
It was unreal.
When I said the Charvel will do things for me that no other guitar's done, that's what I mean. When he heard yours played through his rig, all those synapses in his brain lit up on a different level, right? He's like, "That's what I was looking to hear."
Right.
And that gives me goosebumps thinking about it, because I've played those guitars.
Same.
I know what that feeling's like, man.
Yeah.
It is a religious experience. I've always said music is my religion. I don't mean that to hurt people's feelings. I mean, that's what makes me me. Right? It took me a long time to figure that out, but that's what it is. It's just, I use it to make myself peaceful, right?
Right, absolutely. Keeps me sane,
And that's what he heard. You met his needs, and when I read that and I saw that video you're talking about, that was what was going through my mind. I'm like, how cool for somebody I've never heard of to have built a guitar for somebody that I've idolized since, you said, 1994, as a composer, as somebody who had a tone I fell in love with. His clean tone was so outstanding.
Amazing.
Anybody can have a distorted tone, and there's good distorted tones and bad distorted tones. There are.
Right.
Because some of them grate on my nerves. But his clean tone, and that's the one that will always get you in trouble, is one of the most perfect clean tones in the history of the world, in my opinion.
It is. It's so
beautiful.
So just gnarly,
So when you said that those pickups were too bright for him, I can almost kind of picture what he was saying, because his top end is very subtle. And that's what I love about it.
Yep. Yeah, and that's once he got those Carondelet pickups in it. They played a show that night, and then I think they played one more, and then they had a break for like a week or two, and then they were going to play a show in Syracuse, New York. And the day of that show, it was like late morning, early afternoon. I had texted him and was just like, "Hey, saw you guys are playing in New York tonight. I was curious if you brought my guitar with you, if you're going to be playing it, because if so, I'm going to be like scouring the internet tomorrow for pictures and videos. I want to see it, if you brought it with
Right.
you."
Yeah.
And so, dude, he traveled from Florida to New York to play this one show. And he texts me back and he says, "Yeah, that's the only guitar I brought."
That's so cool,
And
man.
oh, dude, my heart dropped. I was like, "Holy shit!" Like you left your Les Paul at home.
Mhm.
Right.
Like
That would be like,
Nope.
so that would be like the equivalent of me telling you I left the Charvel at
Right.
home. The
Right.
one guitar I know I can
Mhm.
play and always be successful, even on my bad days.
right,
That's what he counted on from you.
right.
To put it into
Yes.
perspective for people who are not a musician, who are just
Mhm.
listening to us geek out about music and are like, what are they talking about? He brought one guitar, and for a professional musician, that's all you have. You get one chance. So
Yeah. And I was like, as weird as it was, I was so stressed out that day after he told me that. I was like, "Oh
I
my
would have been
God,
too.
what if something goes wrong? What if something goes wrong with it or it fucks up? That's all on me,
Yep. And this is his guitar, right?
No, so that one that you've got pulled up there, that one is for Davy French of Everclear.
Oh, okay, because it looked like it. I'm sorry.
Yeah. Davy and Pete's first one are real similar. There's subtle
Okay.
differences. The inlays, gold hardware, that
Okay.
kind of shit.
Yeah, I told Chris before we started, he was another person that you had built a guitar for, and the other guitar player wanted one as well, right?
Yeah, so Art Alexakis, I'm getting ready to start building one for him also.
I can
Cool,
never remember
man.
his name for some reason.
Yeah.
Probably because it's hard to say.
Yeah,
So
so
I'm just pimping your product while you guys are talking, man.
Absolutely,
I'm
man.
just
Those
Yeah,
doing
Great pictures, dude.
yeah, no,
So this is Peter's.
that's Davies. It's got the gold hardware.
Okay.
Peters has
Oh, okay,
the
okay,
chrome
okay.
hardware.
Okay.
Yeah, that's Davies. So
Okay.
how that came about with Davy, Davy
there's Davey.
and Peter grew up together, went to high school together and shit. So
Oh,
they've
no
known
kidding.
each other since they were kids. And so after meeting Peter, getting the guitar delivered in Oklahoma,
Right.
we were driving home the next day. My wife and I are in the car, and she's like, "Oh my God, Peter Klett just made a post on his Facebook about your guitar," And we've got 4 hours of highway ahead of us. And I'm like, "Well, keep checking his post because I guarantee you he's friends with other guitarists. He's friends with other
Right.
famous
Right.
guitarists."
Oh, for
And
sure.
yeah,
Right.
so the whole time she keeps checking that post. Okay, this person liked it. This person commented on it. And, she's like pulling them up. Well, Davey
I'm sure
French,
my name came up in that conversation.
Yeah,
right,
yeah,
Mike?
right.
Yeah.
But, and she's like, Davey French liked it and was like, "Man, I need one of those." And I was like, "That's the dude from fucking Everclear, And so we get home. I think, honestly, I don't even think we made it home. I think we stopped for gas. And so I pulled up
Got a phone
Davey,
call.
send him a friend request, and I replied to his comment, and I was like, "Hey, I know a guy," and
Yeah.
by the time we get back home,
I'm
he's
friends with the owner.
messaging me like, "Hey, let's talk about this," I love that. I want one of those, and I was like,
That
"Fuck
thing
yeah,
is
cool."
sick, dude.
So he's sending
So
me all
So
of his.
here's a question. Here's a question. I don't mean to interrupt you, but because I, and part of my ignorance, right? Because I'm just a singer. Okay, guitar makers are a dime a dozen.
In a rock
right?
and roll band.
I know, but I mean, anybody. I'm not going to say anybody can make a guitar, but guitar builders. There's a ton of guitar builders in the world, right?
Right.
Oh, for sure.
Okay, so what's making MonkeyHouse guitars stand out to the fact that you have Peter from Candlebox and then David from Everclear? I'm
Great
sure
question.
there's more that are going to start, knocking on your door to get guitars made, because again, this is Peter from Candlebox right now, a sound check. As he alluded to earlier in this conversation, that's the only guitar he took to a show. So what is it that makes your guitars different, Mike, that these musicians are literally just looking at it and being like, I want this.
Right.
That's a great question.
That is a damn good question. I wish I had an answer to it.
Is it somewhere between you have the skill, the passion, and the luck of the stars all aligned at the right time?
I think it's got to be that, and I feel like it's just luck and everything aligned just right.
I think a better way to ask
moment.
Chris's question is, in your opinion, what do you do? Because you have to do something differently. I don't want you to divulge your trade secrets
don't
like we
divulge-
always tell
absolutely
authors.
not.
Don't
Yeah.
give your book away, but
Right.
and you wouldn't anyway. But kind of in your own words, answer his question, because I'm curious too. What do you think you do differently?
So honestly, I feel like, and so there's one other guy. He's a customer of mine. He owns 2 of my guitars right now. He's gotten a hold of me, consigned a build. He's got 2 of them, and here pretty soon, Peter and that guy are going to be the only 2 people on the planet that have more than one of my guitars.
Wow.
That guy commented on one of my posts. I can't remember which one it was. I think it was a post about Art from Everclear wanting one of my guitars and why he loved it. Might have been one about Peter, I'm not sure. But he commented on it and was like, I'm pretty sure it's the neck. And that's the only thing I can figure, because anyone...
That's what I noticed. That's what I wanted to hear you say.
Like you said, to a degree, anybody can build a guitar.
Right.
Building a neck is kind of a whole animal in and of itself. But hand carving a neck gives it a
you hand carve it?
Yeah.
He's building this fucker from scratch, man.
Every single thing is from scratch. So let me show you real quick.
Absolutely. Lesson in guitar building, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah, buddy.
So my necks literally start off like this.
I would be so lost, I wouldn't even know where to start.
Yeah, it's going to be a guitar neck. But so everything is 100% from scratch,
Wow.
And that's the only thing I can figure that when somebody of Peter's caliber gets it in their hands, and Peter even commented on the neck a couple times.
That's what I wanted to hear you say, because that's the only thing that's going to sway me too, because that's the magic of this Charvel.
Right.
I know as a builder, you're going to pick the right piece of wood. That's the other thing, Chris, getting a custom built guitar, is he goes out and he looks at every piece of wood until he sees the one that he wants. He knows how that piece of wood's going to sound after he routes it out into a guitar shape, right?
Right.
So just so I can put it in people's perspectives, kind of like Roy Hobbs when his dad cut down the oak tree and then he found the piece of oak to make the bat.
Yes.
Right.
Absolutely.
So,
Same
that
concept.
was Roy Hobbs' bat that he used, and I think he called it Lightning Boy or something.
Right.
Until he hit that home run and it broke and all chaos ensued. But
that's the Robert Redford
concept.
movie.
Same.
Yes,
concept.
good job.
Yes, absolutely.
The Natural.
I was waiting.
Yep.
I speak in television movie euphemisms sometimes, and it takes people a minute. We talked about the Gallagher family from Chicago one time, and the guest was like,
No,
really?
you got me for a minute on that. Too. I followed the story all the way down.
But that's why, I mean, that's a great example though, because the wood of the baseball bat was the best piece of wood he could find for that bat to sustain him, for the movie anyway.
Right.
So that's bad. That's pretty legit, dude. That you.
Right.
I could see now. That would be an appeal. Like I had a microphone stand that I had a drummer make he was my second drummer ever, and it's hard to explain because it broke, but.
Oh, it's
the bottom of it. The bottom of it were raven's claws. He drew me a tattoo, but it's kind of hard to see it now. But my arm he put my arm in resin, so it went like this. Okay, and you could see as the mic stand, this comes up, and I had the microphone held in that hand right there.
Right.
So on stage,
you could see the veins and the muscle
going
up to the microphone.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Oh wow.
Yeah. It was before anybody had mic stands. He did it. He was an art student at ASU, Neil Sands. Thank you, Neil. Art student at ASU, and he had a project he had to do that was not using the typical type stuff. So he's like, hey, dude, let's make you a mic stand, because I had just released this thing called Welcome to My Mind. And he really dug the stuff that was in there. And so the bottom of it were raven's claws going up to this weird twisted knot thing.
This thing weighed like 30 pounds, Mike.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. And then my arm picked it up on the top, and like legit, I would stand on stage like this, holding my own hand with the microphone. My foot would fit underneath the raven's claws so I could rock it, either way. It was amazing.
That's
then,
insane.
Dude, yeah,
it was so cool.
Fuckhead cool. Throwing shit on it, broke it. Anyway, but yeah, but see, that appealed to me because it was cool. And then that was a conversation piece when we played out. So if that's one of the allure that people have, is because you hand make this shit, hand carve it.
Oh,
that's
for sure.
badass, dude.
Right.
That's badass.
And that's
by all
like
means.
Going full circle back to, after Chris and I met at the Candlebox show, we went on to have some oh fuck moments where we opened up for the Marshall Tucker band. We had, I don't even know how many times we opened up for Sacred Reich. They loved us.
I don't.
Wow.
Their rhythm guitar player ran sound for us at the Mason Jar in Phoenix, which was super cool.
Wow.
So, like these moments led to more moments that Chris and I were able to, we opened up for Pat Travers, Seven Dust, Tony McAlpine, Enough's Enough,
wow,
LA Guns, just
yeah, because we hit the same time within 2 years of us doing our thing. Creed took off, so we were in the Tempe sound at the time and I used to say it on stage: if you came for Tempe Jingle Jangle sound, you're in the wrong place.
We were playing straight ahead rock and roll again, like Candlebox was, and like
we
Creed
could play,
was.
and we could play with anybody. It didn't matter. We got booked. I shaved my head, and they booked us for a skinhead show. And
True story.
It worked, but it was so far from our ideology. But it's the music, right?
We got out of there alive.
Yeah. So that's the thing. It doesn't matter who was up and down the radio dial. We could play with them because our music was so diverse and unique and original. The only cover we did two, Roadhouse Blues, and Mike did Cat Scratch Fever. Aside from that, it was all original.
Right.
So that was the cool thing about it, and we knew how to work the crowd. And, we came out and played 3 songs without me saying a word to the crowd. And then afterwards, you're just kind of like, it's like, hey, how's everybody doing tonight? And they're just like, what the fuck is this?
Right.
You didn't expect it when you had the Refreshments and the Gin Blossoms coming out of Arizona. You weren't expecting a band like us to step up on stage.
I just thought
Especially
people were
in
ready
Tempe.
for rock and roll again. And after the success of Candlebox and after the success of Creed, because Candlebox got lumped into Seattle because that's where they were from at the time, right?
True.
They were just a straight ahead rock and roll band.
Absolutely.
When you hear Arrow, it beats you over the head like we intended for our opening song to do.
Right.
When you hear Freeman, that was our intention, was just to beat you over the head for 3 minutes.
Right.
Might be 2 minutes and 58 seconds.
Right.
It's like, let's just kick their ass for 3 straight minutes.
But they were so much different at the time than everything else that was coming out of Seattle.
Yeah.
It was apples and oranges,
Absolutely. But they were able to pull that perfection off live. That's what blew me away.
Absolutely.
When I went and saw them, my fucking jaw was on the ground. I'm like, there was you're waiting for the imperfections. That's what I always say about AC/DC. If you've never seen them, I always say for 2 straight hours or 2.5 hours, if that band made a mistake, I never heard it.
Right.
That was Candlebox for me at that show that Chris and I went to.
And that's how they are still today. It's unreal.
Sure.
They're so tight.
Yeah, you don't lose that for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, we have to still talk. You guys have more things to discuss.
For sure.
40 minutes. Well, there was a lull.
I don't
so
know.
Okay, so we got Peter Klitt from Peter Klett. Sorry.
Yeah, we got to talk about Everclear
I just
for sure
said Klitt.
too.
Sorry, I said Klitt on the show. Clitoris. No, Peter Klett. Okay, and then we have Davey from Everclear.
Yeah.
Who else that the world doesn't know that you want to share with us that you're building a guitars for?
I mean, that's the 3 big ones would be Peter and then Davey and then Art from Everclear. And that getting to build one for Davey was fucking huge to me. I was like, this guy, he's been playing with Everclear for 20 years,
Yeah.
like, holy shit. And the dude is
one,
just such a amazing human being, such a just down to earth, such a great guy, you know. And two, he's such a goddamn talented guitarist. It's
Absolutely.
insane. But for me, and I don't want to downplay the excitement of building one for Davey, but I knew in getting to go deliver, because I drove to Denver to deliver that one to him, and getting to do that and meet him, I was going to get to meet Art also.
Right.
So a couple times during Davey and I's conversation, you know, like, hey, your guitar is almost done, you know, blah, blah, blah. And he's like, yeah, Art is really excited to see some pictures of it. He might want one, you know? And I'm like, fuck yeah, you know? And so he, you know, he's like, he wants to wait until, you know, you get here and he gets it in his hands, gets to see it, gets to play it and feel it, you know, before he commits to anything.
Sure.
So we arrive at that venue in Denver. We'd go downstairs, like into the dressing room first. They were doing sound check upstairs, or starting sound check. They were setting levels on the drums. And Davey gets the guitar out and he plays it unplugged for just a minute. And it's just like, oh, I've got to get this upstairs and plug it in, you know?
You know right away as a guitar player, you know for sure.
I'm like, fuck yeah.
I know.
And he even said that. He's like, as soon as I played it unplugged, it was so snappy and it sounded so just exactly how I wanted it. I knew I had to plug it in and hear it, you know?
Not to interrupt your story, but real quick, the guy that taught me to pick out guitars, he actually taught me to put my ear up to the guitar so I could hear how the wood was sustaining, right?
Right.
You know, he's like, you're going to hear what kind of sustain you're going to get out of that wood, because all the electronics is doing is amplifying the actual sound you're hearing through that grain of the wood.
Yeah.
That was the best lesson I ever learned. People see me do that at a guitar shop and they think I'm fucking crazy, but
right.
It works.
But it makes sense, you know? Yeah.
I saw one of the greatest guitar players. Rolling Stone dubbed him as one of the top 10 or top 25 most influential guitar players of all time, Ted Turner from Wishbone Ash.
Right.
I sold him a guitar at Guitar Center in Phoenix, and I saw him do that with the guitar that he ended up buying. I was like, right on.
Nice.
You know, you get vindicated when all those years you think you're doing something special that nobody else knows. It's
right.
Like,
and you see somebody else doing it.
Yep. I'm like,
hey,
I do that too. And he's like, you got to, man. How you going to know if it's going to sustain or not if you don't listen to the grain of the wood? And I'm like, that's what the guy that showed me. I love those moments.
Absolutely.
I do know what I'm talking about.
Right. So yeah, so Davey then took the guitar up on the stage, plugs it into his rig, and sitting there just fucking murdering this thing, you know, just playing the shit out of it. And I had a Peter Kleck flashback. I'm just like, oh my fucking God, you know, on the stage, plugged into his rig in this beautiful auditorium, you know, wailing on this thing. Sounds fucking incredible. And then Art comes out walking on the stage and like, hey, introduces himself to me. You know, it was funny. I'm standing there watching Davey play and I just feel a hand on my shoulder and turn around and it's Art standing there. And he's like, hey, I'm Art.
That's so cool.
And I was like, holy shit, yes, you are, you know? And he's like, you built that? And I'm like, yeah. And he's like, I want to play it. You know, he's like, Davey, bring that here. Let me play it. So Art takes the guitar, puts it on, starts playing on it. And he plays that guitar for about 10 or 15 seconds and stopped and looked at me and he goes, I want one. Nice. And I was just like, holy shit, you know? Oh my God. Yeah. So that was just a fucking amazing experience. And getting to hang out with those guys and talk guitars, talk music, and their art's the same way, just such down to earth, normal, just a
you tell either one of those guys if they want to come on here and talk guitars, they're more than welcome to.
Right.
So.
Right.
I loved Everclear
yeah.
They were another band that spoke to me right away. And where I'll give them a compliment is it was the same way as Candlebox. It was just so different and catchy at the time, right?
Right.
Sometimes catchy is good. Sometimes catchy is it's pop music, and we have dubbed pop music evil for a reason in the rock world, right?
Right.
some of it, and I'm not saying their stuff is pop
Well,
music,
it's-
but
it's
even in
different
that
'cause
world,
pop-
some of it's
yeah,
good.
Pop rock's fine. Candy ass pop rock's not fine.
Right.
And Everclear
Okay.
had
There's a-
that
there's a
edge to
difference.
them that
Yeah.
guys that loved heavy metal even liked Everclear, right?
Absolutely.
Mhm.
Because it was so catchy, you had to listen to it. Somebody's behind you, Chris.
That was my
Dunham, and
daughter. That's my
okay,
daughter.
I'm just- I have a job to do on this podcast,
Yeah.
ladies and gentlemen, and I am
Gotta
not
keep
going
me
to shirk
safe.
my duties. So yeah, they're absolutely more than welcome to come on here and talk guitars. Like Chris
Nice.
said, and any musician you know, even famous or not famous, is
Right.
welcome to come on here and talk about why they love your particular guitar, because I'm as curious as anybody, because I just had this conversation with my mom not that long ago. I'm still 13 years old inside my brain.
Right.
It's like I love to play. It's just we're boys,
That
man.
actually would be really cool if we can get Peter or Davey on to actually talk about you, Mike, the guitar maker,
Oh, that would I would be so nervous.
and find out. No, but really to find
that
out.
would be
Here's
cool.
the thing. Here's the thing. It would help you understand the allure of what you build, right?
Sure.
Which in doing so, because Mike and I are all about helping get our guests into the forefront, out into the world, right? Like
Right.
this is not an interview; it's a conversation. You're fully aware of that, right? So interviews are boring as hell because I was on radio and that was the one thing I hated. It's like, oh, just a stupid straight line. No, screw that,
Right.
man. You learn so much more just like this.
Right.
The organic, real and raw, relevant conversation about why you're here. You're here because, number one, Mike wanted you to come on the show and I tracked you down and you're gracious enough to say yes, so thank you.
Absolutely.
And you build custom
absolutely.
guitars. And you put custom guitars in the hands of 3 guitar players who have toured the world I don't know how many times.
Platinum
Right.
albums.
So so it'd be
Multi-platinum albums.
right. So it'd be fantastic to have them on, and you can come with them because we can put 4 people on this thing and find out from Peter and Davey and Art what was it about your instrument that they were so drawn to that they had to have one,
Right.
let alone have another one.
I love
Because you know that
idea.
door's going to open up every time when you go drop off the next guitar and the next guitar, people are going to comment and like, and all of a sudden MonkeyHouse Guitars is going to be a household name in the rock and roll world because that's why you're here, right?
We're going to give you like 20 clips that you can share
Yeah.
at your disposal as well. So, we're
Right,
going to
and
do our
before you
part.
before you go public, let us know so we can hop on the gravy train.
that would be great.
That would be right. That's you got to think big, man.
Yeah.
So let me ask you this.
Yeah.
We never, and Chris and I are terrible about this, and because he let me lead the show, and I started off by just talking like geeking out about guitars. What made you want to build guitars, and what, obviously because you were a player, right? And when did you start doing it?
All right. So, funny thing here, I think probably about a month ago, I had an elementary school teacher contact me from a school that's a couple miles from here.
And
Their
you're in
students-
Kansas, right?
I'm sorry?
In Kansas, yep.
You're in
Yes.
Kansas?
Yeah, we're in
Okay.
Kansas. Yep. And her students, the 5th grade class, is getting ready next month. I think they're having their music program. So the art teacher and the music teacher are coming together, and these kids are building cardboard guitars for their music
Right
show.
on.
Yeah.
That's
So
cool.
so it's incorporating the art class into the music program, which I think is beautiful,
Brilliant.
I love
Yeah.
it that they
Yeah.
have both.
Yes. Yeah, exactly. So she reaches out to me and is like, hey, explains what they're doing. Would you be willing to come to our school and talk to the entire 5th grade class, like 75 kids, about what you do, about building guitars and blah, 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 so they can get some inspiration and ideas for their project they're doing,
I love it.
I was like, yeah, absolutely. That would be fun to do.
Yeah.
I was more nervous going to talk to these kids than I was going to meet a rock star,
Oh, for sure. I would be too.
Yeah. The weekend before doing that, I was in Denver delivering a guitar to Everclear. And I was more
Right.
nervous that weekend talking to these 5th grade kids, But so leading up to that, I'm sitting there thinking, okay, what in the hell am I going to talk to these kids about that's going to keep them interested, to get them engaged in the conversation you know? And so I really started thinking about, when did I start building a guitar? And the first time I attempted building a guitar, I was about that age, like 4th, 5th grade. And
Really?
it was out of
Wow.
cardboard and plexiglass and fishing line, you know, and put the whole goddamn thing together, and it would make noise. It sounded like shit, but I built it, and it resembled a guitar, you know?
But I
That's
built
cool.
Right. And
I
so
love it.
that's where the whole thing started, you know? And then it flash forward several years in high school in wood shop. We had our end of the year project. You got one free project. You could build whatever you wanted. You had the whole wood shop at your disposal to build
Cool.
this one project. And I
Mike
wanted to
Now,
built
build
a
now,
guitar.
just so people understand, woodshop was a class in junior high and then in high school. That you
Right.
actually learned how to use your hands and craft things.
Right.
With power
Same
tools.
with metal shop and auto shop. We don't have those anymore
No.
because for whatever reason, you have to go to a vocational school for that stuff now,
Right.
which was stupid.
We actually
So,
have
but
one of
there-
those in our town,
Right,
so
but,
we're fortunate.
But yeah. So there was a time when your required curriculum included wood shop, metal shop, and auto shop,
Right.
and,
not joking.
and music and art.
Yeah.
and music and art.
I'm
Right, and
I was
all of
surprised
that
when he
is
said
just
that
kinda-
because a lot of schools have stripped that out of their programs.
Right?
All right. And I think that's sad, you know?
Yeah, agreed. 100%,
it's
man.
terrible.
100%.
But yeah, so that was my, I want to build a guitar for this project. My
That's
shop
awesome.
teacher, he was like 85, 90 years old, had like 3 fingers, you know? And he's like, I don't know shit about building a guitar. You're on your own. I'm no help to you, you know? And I'm like,
Cool.
fuck. Back then there's no
You're supposed to be
internet.
the teacher,
There's-
asshole.
There's no internet, no YouTube, no, you know, nothing that I can just look up and absorb information and figure it out. So
How
it
old
was
are you,
just-
Mike?
It was a disaster. And
How old are you, Mike?
I turned 50 here in a couple days.
Okay, we're all in the same wheelhouse
Yeah.
within
Yeah.
4
Yeah.
years of each
Yeah.
other.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that project never got anywhere near completion. And that always, ever since then, in the back of my mind, bugged the shit out of me that I never did see that through, you know? And so not even 10 years ago, probably 6 years ago, I want to see, you know, if I can do this, you know?
Yeah.
And so my daughter and I, for like just a daddy-daughter project, we had
Nice.
bought a kick guitar. You know, I was like, we're gonna build a
Huh.
guitar. And a kick guitar is kind of just like a Lego set, you know, it's all already done.
Oh,
You
cool.
paint it, finish it, and assemble it, and it's done. It took us like 2 weeks, you know, and I was like, that was kind of really anticlimactic, you know?
Is that your daughter?
That's my granddaughter and me.
Okay. Right on. That's you?
That's me.
Right on.
But
He's having a bad hair day.
yeah, I didn't shave that day. But so we did that kick guitar, and I was just like, that wasn't even a challenge. That was way too fucking easy.
Okay.
What
I love
would
your
it
logo,
take
by
to
the
do
way.
one from
Yeah.
scratch? The whole thing. What would it take to do it from scratch? So really just started diving into it, absorbing all the information that I could. Start investing in tools one at a time here and there, and get to the point where like, all right, I'm ready to cut some wood and try this. And built my first guitar from scratch, and it happened way too easily. Like it
Really?
went together, and over the course of like a month and a half, 2 months, it was done. You know, and that's building a neck from scratch and everything. It
Wow.
came together and plugged it in, and it played and it worked. And I was like, well, fuck, that wasn't too hard.
Holy
It was a
shit.
challenge to see if I could
Don't
do
tell
it.
people that. Don't act like it was too hard. It was super hard. It was the hardest thing you've ever
Right,
done in your life.
Everyone I've
Do you-
built since then has been hard as fuck. But that one was
There
Do
you
you
go.
think that do you think that building that kick guitar gave you like a leg up? Did that help at all, or you would have been able to do the first one the same way you did it without
No,
building the
because
kick guitar?
that I don't know about you, but every guitar that I've owned, I've taken them apart. You know, you swap out pickups, do this, do that, and then reassemble it, put it back together. You know, I've
No,
always
I've always found somebody that was smarter than me, for real.
But I've
I
always
wreck
done
them
that
and
with
somebody else
everything I
fixes them.
own. If I buy something, I need to figure out how it works. So I'll take
That's
it
my brother.
completely apart and learn it, and then put it back together. You know, and I was always that way
Yes.
with my guitars too. So I don't feel like the kit guitar really did anything for me other than kind of ignite the desire to do more than just build a kit, you know?
Well, you actually answered my question without knowing it. It was the fact that you had taken them apart and putting them back together. All the ones that you had bought, you knew how the electronics looked, you knew how the pickups went in there, and you knew what you would do differently
Right.
if you had, you know, the blueprint to do it yourself.
Right.
Now I understand. It's because you spent time taking them apart and seeing how they worked.
Right.
I make that joke all the time, but it's not a joke. Don't give me your collector's guitar because, you know, I'm a player. I'm not a collector. I'm going to
Right.
wreck the fucking thing.
Right. Right.
And I mean that in a good way. I'm going to play it and it's going to get abused.
Right. And that's I feel that way about every guitar that I build when the new owner gets it. I don't want it to be hung on the wall and displayed. It's not an
Right.
art piece, you know. And I've told people that I want you to beat the shit out of this guitar. I want you to play the fuck out of this thing. Ding it.
That means a lot to hear.
Scratch it. Yeah, you know, that's what it's made for, is to have the shit played out of it, you know?
Well, yeah, it's like Hetfield still plays his original, I don't remember what it was. Mike, you'll know.
It's an Epiphone.
Yeah.
Right.
That Flying V that he has, that's been
Flying V.
around with him since 1980, 79 or whatever.
Right.
It's literally like a $300 guitar that he plays Seek and Destroy on or whatever now.
Right.
But think about that. That guitar has been around the world probably, 40, 50 times?
Yeah, it's a $300 guitar that you couldn't put a price tag on today.
Correct.
No.
Right.
No. But no, not at all. But that's the point of it. You're building an instrument to be played. You're
Right.
gonna have people that collect shit hanging on their walls, right? Like I'm sure somebody owns Jimi Hendrix guitar and it's behind a case on his wall, but
Which is so sad.
Right.
right.
It
But
is.
you know, but for the most part, you're building something that creates life in
Right.
the music world, and it, you know,
Thank
and
you.
music is life, man. So that's
Amen.
cool, dude.
Yeah.
That was a brilliant statement right there. I love that.
Oh, you're welcome.
Pretty profound.
What did I say?
Music
I
is
just-
life. It is.
Music is life, man. Music is life. It is.
totally
It's just,
is.
you know, you can't. I mean, think about it. We've talked about it before. Can you imagine a world without music?
No,
We have
Like-
had that debate.
I don't
Yeah, like
want
when Ozzy.
to.
No, like when Ozzy died. Like I made the comment. Mike and I talked about it because on the next show, and it's when he died that the world got quieter.
Right.
And it's not like his music doesn't live on. It's not like his legacy isn't what it is. But
there's
it's just
never
got
going to be
quieter
any more.
because
Right.
right. I'm sure there is. I'm sure he has all kinds of stuff stored away.
Right.
Especially with his son.
But
I'm sure we're gonna hear
not
stuff
the
because I'm
same,
sure.
though.
Yeah.
You know.
Well, no, it's not. It's not because you don't have the sound bites. You just don't have Ozzy. It's different. It's different when you lose somebody to that magnitude. It's kind of like,
Right.
it's just, you know, when Elvis died, the world got quiet because,
Yep.
Right.
you know, back then there was no internet, but Elvis reached the entire world. And it's like, well, now what? You know, that's
Right.
why people grieve so hard when Ozzy died because it's
Right. Or
you know,
John Lennon,
it-
you know.
right. You silence somebody that was such a voice on so many levels. And Ozzy carried through so many genres, and it didn't matter if you liked Sabbath or his music alone. You liked him because of the Osbournes. If you didn't like because of the Osbournes, you liked because you heard the stories about the bats and the doves and pissing on the
Right.
Alamo. There's
Right.
so many different things to his character and the dynamic human that he was that you loved or hate him. But I think more people loved him than hated him because all he wanted at the end of the day was just to jam
Right.
and just and be
Just
a
make
loving
music.
human and share with right.
And for guys
So-
like Mike and I, he gave us
Mhm.
some of the greatest guitar players that ever graced the instrument
Yes.
that, you know, made us ambitious enough to go out and try and be that good as well, you know?
Right. Well,
Think
I mean,
about the
try
guitar players he gave to us.
to
Right.
think
Who
of
would-
what the music world would be today had he not done anything he did.
Oh,
You know,
it wouldn't be.
There would be no Metallica.
No, there would be no. Yeah, there'd be so
because
many.
he gave them their first big start.
Mm-hmm. Yep. So who's the holy grail? Who's the one phone call you're waiting for to say, "Hey, Mike, I want you to build me a guitar"?
So it's a good question.
It is. I love it.
A lot, and I do have an answer.
I know. I figured you
would.
would.
A lot of the problem with that is most holy grail guitarists are endorsed, you know, and part of their endorsement deal. And I've talked to several, you know, like I would love to have you build me one, but I can't accept a guitar from you. I can't have pictures of me holding your guitar because I'll lose my endorsement deal, you know? The one holy grail one that, as far as I know, isn't endorsed is Pete Luffler from Chevelle. I would love to get in contact with him somehow and build a guitar for him.
Well, you're going to get a little clip of this show that hopefully this is part of those clips, and you can just put it on his page.
Right.
And you just blew me away, man. That's such an interesting choice because my mind went right to his tone, and there's another tone that I really admire and love.
Right. And the thing I love about him, so there's actually, my answer wouldn't be just him. There's 3 of them.
Okay.
He's one. Okay. And so Pete loves playing, Pete Luffler. He has a thing for baritone scale guitars and odd scale guitars and shit. He has, I've seen pictures of him now. There's some baritone scale Fender that he picked up that he's been playing lately. So I love players that are like that they want oddball shit, you know? So along
because
those
now
lines,
it's a challenge for you, right?
Right. It's something different. It's not, well, I've got templates sitting right here for that. I could crank out another telly and it, you know, it's a challenge. It's something, it takes a lot more focus and work going into it.
But what I love to hear about that from you, Mike, is that means that the guitars that you build that you would consider average guitars are so far above and beyond anything that you could go buy at the store. That's what I want people to understand that are listening to this. If you're a young guitar player out there, the reason that I'm so excited as a 40-year veteran of playing the instrument to talk to this man is I know the love and care that goes into picking the wood and the necks. And like you said, making a neck is a tedious process and you can't rush it. And it just, I love to hear your passion for the same passion I have for playing the instrument when I hear it the way it's intended through a great amplifier. And you know what I'm saying?
Right. Well, and that's a big part of it's a big part of the appeal and the fun of it to me is you're building custom shit. It's not, I want you to build me this exact guitar that I saw hanging on the wall at Guitar Center. You know, I want this guitar, but I want it to have this on it, but they don't make that. I want, you know, I want this with a Floyd on it, but they don't make that. It doesn't exist in the wild. And I want one, I really want one with my name engraved on the fretboard. But that, you know, going to a custom shop, it's a 3-year wait list and, you know, and I'll never have that. You know, I'm like, well, fuck, I can do that for you. I can literally, you can piecemeal, you know, pick and choose different aspects of guitars that you love and cram them all into one and build that, you know? And that's the part that I love about doing the custom shit is.
And that's why I'm excited to talk to you. You know, I definitely, and I'll tell you why I want you to build me a guitar, because we had our original bass player on the podcast, about a month ago, Chris?
Maybe longer than that. Time flies, man.
Yeah, it might have been back in August.
Hey, William Richard Carr, the fourth,
William,
right?
They put us on 12-hour days. I'll get in touch soon. That's the reason you haven't heard from me. The fireworks in the background. That was awesome. The reason that I want you to build me a guitar is something caught my ear when we were talking to him. He just had a bass made for him recently.
Right.
And he said, if you're ever afforded the opportunity, take it, because I can't express enough how different this instrument is versus anything I've ever played. And I could see it in his eyes and I could hear it in his voice.
Right. Right.
You sound like a little, like you said with Peter, he's like a little kid at Christmas when he heard that
Right.
played through his rig. His eyes lit up, and Davey's eyes lit up, and
Right.
it's like, these are players who respect their tone so much because people bought millions of their records, ladies and
Right.
gentlemen.
Right.
Millions. These are platinum selling artists. Their tone means something to them when they're
Absolutely.
delivering their message after you paid $300 to see them play, right?
Right.
Or whatever it costs
Right.
nowadays. It's more expensive than it used to be, but
Yeah.
it just blows my mind that, you know, you at 40, you know, that's what makes the story even better. At 43 or 44 years old, you decided to start building guitars for
the hell of it.
Yeah, can I do this? Do I have
Right.
the talent? And you whipped one out. And yes, I not only have the talent, I think I'm pretty good at this. So I'm going to
Right.
continue, and I'm going to reach out to a couple people, and it's just.
And here we are. And that's
I thought you were going to tell me you've been building guitars since that shop class, right?
I
And
wish
then at
I wish
19,
I would have. I wish I would have really stuck with it. If I could go back and talk to 18-year-old me, I would not let myself have stopped at that point. You know,
Sure.
because I could have been doing this for 30 years. You know,
Right.
but
So let's give you a moment to give a shout out to your family and you know all your friends and stuff in Kansas before we wrap this puppy up, and you guys can talk off air about building Mike a guitar.
Absolutely.
okay. For well, that's
you gotta say hey wife. You gotta say hi to the wife and kids, man.
yeah, they're sitting right inside.
He's a good Midwestern guy. I love his temperament.
Yeah.
I'm in Illinois, man.
But no, that is one huge thing for me. Is one, my wife is so incredibly supportive of me doing this.
Good job.
That's awesome.
Yeah,
Good job,
yeah.
wife.
Love it.
She's amazing. When I first started out doing this, we had just bought our house. I built a little 10 by 10 shed in the backyard, and that's where I started at, was in this little box.
Oh,
and
right on.
I was so crammed in there, you know, just the shit that I was putting out. You wouldn't look at that guitar and think that came out of there, you know. It was insane, and it wasn't heated, wasn't cooled. It froze in the winter, you know. I had to have a propane heater going in there just so I couldn't see my breath while I'm working, you know. Any
right on.
finishes, oils, anything, paint, I had to bring all that in the house during the winter because it would freeze out there. Glue, it sucked, but it got me going, and I got to a point where, so we have a 2-car garage, and I got to a point. I was talking to a guy that I worked with one day. I was like, I really want to move my workshop into the garage, but I've got to talk my wife into it. And I don't know how to butter her up and like sweeten the deal to get her to let me do that, you know? And so I came home that day and so what would you think if I cleared out all the shit out of the garage and moved my shop in there instead? And she's like, cool, do it, you know? And I was like, oh, sweet. So
see, wives are cooler than we think they are, man. You just gotta. How long you been married?
We've been married 10 years.
Yeah, see, that's the thing, man. Once you have time invested, it's
Right.
it's a conversation. Nick and I have been together 31, so we finished the sentences and shit. But
right.
It's that's the thing, man. I mean, because now it's just what you do is good for you too, not just for you.
Right.
And I think that's the cool thing about that good dynamic with the relationship is you can both realize that, okay, well, Mike's doing over here building guitars is going to help us in the long run.
Right.
Because the more you build, the more successful you get, the more, you know, more people.
And even at the beginning, just the fact that it made you happy, right? You were a happier Mike because you were building guitars, right? They see that.
It either made me happier or it kept me out of her hair, one of the two.
Right. I was just going to say that.
Now I can watch whatever I want.
Right.
On TV.
That's awesome.
But
That's
no,
awesome.
she's super supportive of it.
Cool.
You know, I'll be out here long hours, late at night, first thing in the morning. All weekend I'm out here in my shop working. And I've found I've got to force myself at times to step away and have family time, you know, because that's important, and I don't want to miss out on that. So it's hard finding that balance, you know.
You'll find it. You'll get it. You'll
shop
get it.
time
Though.
and
Keep at it.
family
You'll find
time.
it. Yeah. You'll find it though. The more you do, the better you'll get at it, dude. The more you'll understand it. So that's good. The fact that you recognize that, you're on the right path. So that's good.
Right.
That's good
for sure.
So yeah, okay. So he's Mike, owner, founder of MonkeyHouse Guitars. Got it right this time. You can find them on Facebook and Instagram. That. Just search just search MonkeyHouse. Just search MonkeyHouse Guitars. Right.
Yep.
Okay. Yep. We close every show like this. If you're feeling sad, suicidal, depressed, don't do it. There's always somebody who loves you, who'll miss you. Don't leave a hole in somebody else's heart. Tomorrow's a better day because you're going to wake up in it. No bullshit. Text 988. If you can't find somebody to talk to, text the 988. There's somebody there willing and ready to help you get through whatever you're struggling with. With that being said, I'm Chris. He's Mike, and that's Mike. I'm sandwiched by Mikes. It's Mike squared.
Amen, brother.
We appreciate you being on the show, dude. We definitely going to have you come back on after you make guitars for more and more people in the world.
Yeah, I would love it.
If we can get Peter or Davey or Art on, you come on with them because then we can just
let's make that happen.
That would be super fun to do. Yeah,
I love that idea.
I might have to have a few drinks that day in order to do that.
There's no problem with that.
That's fine. You can drink for me because I don't drink. Love you, brother.
Love you too, man.
See you guys.
Great to meet you, Mike. Thanks for coming on.
Thanks for having.
Fighting, wait for the day when you close your